Boys in Blue are back.
Back!
We're back, baby!
Yelich, he finishes that shot! And another save! Matt Freed!
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys.
Welcome to another episode of the City Boys. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up?
What is going on? It's been a minute,
I know. 2 weeks feels like forever.
especially in the sports world. I don't know why. It feels like, I don't know, everything changes.
I know. It's like.
It also feels like I could just stop doing the show after 2 weeks. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time to end it.
You're like, we're not relevant anymore. No one cares.
Yeah, it's just like, we're good.
You know what? Every time we meet people, they go, man, I love the memes.
Yeah, if we just did memes, bro, I think that's all we need to do, and people will be content.
Exactly.
Our 5 listeners, they'll be all right. Just catch the memes, you'll be okay.
But the thing is, we can't come up with memes on a daily basis, so we need content for 4 other days. That's why we do the pod. That's why we do the pod. So we were gone. Vibes were high after the game in New England.
That's why we need to start recording when vibes are high, because now we got a game like this. I don't want to talk about this. Nobody wants to listen to this. Everybody saw it.
Everyone did see it. It was tragic.
There's nothing to be seen.
The views are gonna.
I had a higher expected goal on my couch. They're like, yo, the way Javi's moving his leg on that couch right now, he's got a pretty high expected goal right now.
That is straight facts, homie.
But what happened last game? Let's talk about it. We win the game. It was fun.
It was a good time. All the goals were scored by NYCFC.
Oh yeah. Has New England scored a goal yet? I didn't look, but I know last week they at that point had no goals yet.
You know, they had footage of Carlos Hill after the game. He was pissed. He's like, why am I on this whack ass team?
Yo, Twitter Nation was going crazy for NYCFC. They're like, what if we picked up Carlos Hill?
Did you see Fibro Footy had a thing today on Instagram, like pitching that idea?
Oh,
a whole video. Halen out there producing content, homie.
That's good.
That was good. Check out that video. It was actually a really good video. I liked it.
Very nice.
Yo, upgrade from those TikTok mics, homie.
Wait, back to the story though. You got sidetracked.
Okay, yeah. My bad. Vibes were high. I wore slippers to the game accidentally because I'm a dummy.
This guy's hilarious. So he's like calls me in the middle of his drive, like, yo, I forgot shoes. I'm like, yo, you better stop by that Dollar General right outside. He's like, nah, I'm gonna make it through. We're in a press box. We got to be professional out here. This guy came in flip flops.
But you know what though? Real quick, they look like Uggs if you only see the front of it. And I think no one really seemed to notice. Yo, I think I stepped on dog poop, bro.
Bro, you are in my basement.
That's crazy.
How did you step on dog poop?
I don't even know. I just come off from the car. I don't got dog poop in my neighborhood.
All right.
This is your neighborhood.
Nah, that's not my dog poop. You came from the front. Whatever.
All right, we got off. So point is, I had the slippers on. Vibes were high after the game. Joking about the slippers.
I'm working. I'm interviewing players, sweating, holding the tripod, holding the camera.
Asking his hard-hitting questions. How you celebrate after the game?
And Danny sees Micha.
Yes.
And then what did Micha do?
Micha was hyped to see me. He said it's the City Boys. Best Instagram on NYCFC.
Let's not hype it up. But I did hear he was excited. From other parties other than Danny, because he's a very unreliable source. They're like, he actually looked excited to see your brother. I'm like, why would he be excited to see him?
Because he said, homie, I heard you got stickers of me. He didn't know that. But this year, our stickers were Micha stickers.
Show the camera.
camera.
Next home game, we're gonna have them. We had little baby ones.
Yeah, we had little baby ones. Micha, I know I gave you baby stickers. I know you watched the Instagram stories. We got bigger stickers. So next home game, we got you, homie. We got you. But these stickers are fire.
Yo, they're fire.
On the laptop,
with the signature Yo, you could put it anywhere, guys. We're gonna give it out free. We're gonna make it to the game early. I say that concerned because we never make it to the game early, but we will try our best.
But you know what? After the game, after the Micha celebration, after all vibes were high, Pascal Janssen doing the best at press conferences, anti-cushion vibes, we went out to that bar Vibes were also
The
super high.
Yankee Winery? Nah, I don't know what it's called.
Bro, we like tagged them on Instagram and everything.
They tagged us.
Yeah, that was the vibes were high.
They were immaculate. It was like a party. It felt like New Year's. They were popping this stuff. You're like, what? This is amazing.
Yeah, I was outside.
Watch it with your poop shoes, bro.
Bro, I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a mop midway through this show. Gotta destroy my thing. But yeah, vibes were high. It was so fun, man. We gotta start going there every game we win.
Yes.
Just because it was just it's just so fun.
But on the other hand, we didn't get a pod out because we didn't record at the stadium.
Yeah, we should have probably recorded. So, do you want us to be responsible or do you want us to drink? No, and then somebody, I forgot who it was, but they're like, "Oh, you guys gonna record?" Because I'm like looking forward to listen. I don't want to know if I could listen tonight or not. And we're like, nah, these White Claws are calling us.
So you're gonna have to wait till Monday. We didn't say which Monday.
We're still not giving them this Monday. So, what else? Yo, did you see this? The offsides, onside documentary. What is it? Onside? I don't even know what it's called.
It's called Both Sides.
Have you seen it though? Did you see the NYCFC episode?
I only saw the NYCFC episode. I wanted to see what they talked about because it seemed like every episode they focused on a team. It wasn't like one team. So I saw it. It was pretty good. It was really interesting because their whole like storyline to that was like Red Bulls and NYCFC and like what team owns New York. But they gave a lot of time to Token on Red Bulls, but you heard about nobody else on that team. I didn't know who the coach was by the time that episode ended. They didn't really specify how often New York's really New Jersey for the Red Bulls. And then they spent a lot of time for NYCFC talking about Malachi Jones. Damn, it killed me too, bro, because they were showing the rehab of Malachi Jones, and I'm watching the episode the day that we got the email.
News, the news that he had to do surgery again. I'm curious if that was like an aggravation. Or like was it something like he came back too soon, was training too fast, and then re-aggravated it, or was it just not done properly in the first place? I guess that's my question about all that.
I mean, I thought it was crazy that like he was out there training, like in the documentary, it showed him training after the surgery, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. Like, I've had the screws in my ankles too, and like that takes a long time, bro. But he's young. You know what I mean? And, like, he's an athlete. Yeah. So it's like, okay, it makes sense that he comes back.
I'm just concerned. Like, this is serious. Now you're having a second surgery before you ever touch the field. Like, I don't know what his future is. But, yes, on the documentary, though, it's... I thought they did a good job of saying, look, we know we're not the best sport in town. Like, we know this is going to be an upcoming sport, but there's some good storylines here, and let's tell it. And we've been talking about this for a while about MLS. Like, these stories need to be told so that fans could come and like really appreciate the game. And it was cool to have those storylines to talk about Malachi Jones. By the way, they reached out to us, one of the producers, asking for one of our clips, but then they never used it.
Yeah,
but it would have been cool, and it was because you love Malachi Jones and you talk nonstop about Malachi that first season. So I'm pretty sure that was one of their clips they were looking to use, but never used it.
But some people's tweets made it. I saw Hudson. I love how they had Hudson River News on it. Hudson River Blue, sorry. And they like blurred it out, but it was obviously Hudson River Blues in the title.
No, and it's funny because you have to use those headlines from this is the media. You know what I mean? There is it's not like the New York Post posted something. It's not like the New York Times. Like that's where you're getting your news from. Yeah. But they still made it like important, and I think this is cool.
Yeah, it was cool. The only thing that killed me was like when they posted the tweets that they thought were important to the game. It'd be like 100 views. I'd be like, yo, you couldn't blur out the numbers? Make us look a little bigger.
You gotta show. Yeah, that's true.
I was like, yo, you're killing the vibes with the viewership on some of these tweets, bro.
And they did a good job, though.
No, it was really good, and I really hope Malachi Jones comes back, man. Like that's tragic.
No, one really thing I liked is the rivalry between Tavon Gray and Token. Like that would have been so epic coming into this season, because he's like, did you see the point where he's in the car with, I forget, some other Red Bull player that nobody cares about, and he's like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to play Tavon Gray when we were younger, and I hated his team. They were hooligans or something like that." So that would have been a great storyline to see these two come back, but now Token's gone.
Yeah,
and Tavon Gray's been injured indefinitely.
Yo, bro, no, but let me tell you, like, and I'm not just saying this as a Red Bull hater. I'm saying this as an unbiased person. Everyone on the Red Bulls team looked like scrubs, bro. They all look like they came from New Jersey. Terrible haircuts. I didn't realize how white that team looked. I was like, yo, these guys look like scrubs.
I don't know what you want me to add to that. Sure, they look like scrubs, bro.
I didn't realize.
Thank you for your in-depth analysis on scrub looking.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to be from New York, bring the R up a little bit, homie.
No, and they got the one time that like they had an event in like 42nd Street to be like, yeah, look, Token, we're in the city, and then Token was trying to be cool. You want my signature? He's like, no, just can I get the jersey? All right, I think that's enough. Let's talk about Columbus Crew. We went into this game. And we did something. We stood on the field.
We played soccer for 90 minutes.
Well, I don't know if you would call that playing soccer for 90 minutes. Do you know the last time we went into Columbus? The silver lining about this, we'll get into the game, but the last time we went into Columbus and got a tie was June 1st, 2019. So that's good.
Oh, wait, does that mean since 2019 we only had losses?
It means we haven't had any ones. Well, that's in their home. So, yes. The last time we've gotten a win in their home was June 1st, 2019.
Okay. No, that's something.
That's a positive, right?
Yeah.
But then you look at the stats, and everything about this game was wrong. First, let's get into the lineup. We know that Alonso Martinez was on international duty. So, Munsa Bakrar got the start.
Your favorite player.
When you first saw him... did you think he was going to get the start?
Yeah. I mean, who else are we supposed to put him there?
I don't know. We could have played around, but I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe we could have had, I forgot. I think Mike from Blue City Radio suggests maybe we have Julian at the number 9.
I think that's when you know you're getting desperate. That's when you like just drop Munsa from the team if you're not even going to let him play striker when he has an opportunity.
And then one other thing I thought was interesting is Risa gets the start back on the back line, and then Hack plays the midfield. I didn't expect that. Did that happen in New England?
No. Remember, Risa played back in New England, and we had Shore play with Parks in the game previously.
Let me just double check that because I don't trust you.
Okay.
Oops. You are right. No, you see? This is why
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
You said Risa played in the back line.
I meant to say Hack, my bad. I said Hack. Yeah, Hack didn't play the midfield. He played the back line. I think that's what I said. Bro.
No, you didn't.
And Shore and Parks played.
So game gets started. I mean, I think this is kind of... you could play around with Shore and Hack, but I think this is our best lineup, especially with everybody who was out. Andres Pereira was out. Tavon Gray still out. Alonso, we talked about, is on international duty. So this was the best lineup you were going to get out of the team we got. Do you agree, or would you have changed it up a little?
I thought what was interesting was why did Hack get the start over Shore? That was my initial reaction. However, I think we saw very quickly when Parks went down and they brought in Shore. Shore's a very good player, but I think you could tell there was like a physicalness to this game. And Shore's a 17-year-old kid, and you could tell that press was really getting to him. So I think for the original lineup that we had, with what we know now, this was the right lineup to go with. Yeah.
And so when the game started, I thought those first 20 minutes was a back and forth game. I thought it was pretty even. I didn't think we were... I mean, they still had the better chances, but I thought we were still contending, and we showed that we could get with them or like perform at their level. But then after that, it just started slowly dwindling down.
Yeah.
And then one of the main things that happens is Keaton Parks gets injured in the 30th, what was it, the 30th minute he gets subbed out, 35th minute he gets subbed out. And I think that was a huge loss for us because I think sometimes it's so hard to determine what Keaton Parks is doing great out there. But like when a game like this happens and you're playing a tough Columbus Crew, you realize, holy shit, we need Keaton Parks out there.
Yeah, Keaton Parks is an expert at holding the ball for some time, giving the other players time to develop a play, and then you go from there. And what you saw this game as soon as Parks left, I mean, it was happening before Parks left, honestly, but there was no connection between the midfield and the front, the attacking third. I mean, you had the stat on the attacking third. How many touches did we have in that pass?
Yeah, so in our attacking third, we only had 61 touches, and that is the lowest by almost double this whole season. The other lowest was 117. So we barely had the ball in that attacking third. So that was tough. And just to reiterate what you were saying about Keaton Parks, Keaton is like that glue. Like if we look at his stats, touches in the middle third, he leads the team with 166 touches. Passes received, and I thought that's where we struggled a lot. We would get the ball to our wingers on the outside, and then they had no outlet to pass it to. And it was a turnover after turnover after turnover. He leads the team with a not 209 passes received. So like he gets the ball, and I think he puts himself in places where guys can get him the ball. Yeah. And that's what we needed out there. Also, he's one of those guys who drives the ball forward. He's second most in the team with progressive carrying distance at 375 yards. So like he's one of those guys who are going to move that ball forward. And I got to give credit to the Crew. That press is so uniform, so clean, and that's credit to Wilfred Nancy. That press, it's like, all right, you got it to your winger on the outside. Now he gets pressed. Now he goes and tries to pass it in the middle, and then he gets pressed, and then right there it collapses. And I saw time after time we collapsed under that press, but it was such a strong press that I'm like, that's what we should emulate and try to be like.
But you know what, though? The reason we can't emulate that, I think, is because that team had so much pace. All those players were so fast, man. And I think it makes a huge difference. I felt like I saw 11 Columbus Crew players who got their speed at 99 in FIFA but have zero shot percentage because they were mooning that ball every single time. And I wish I could look up like speed stats on those players. I tried to look it up prior to this, but you could see like even if we had the form for that type of press, I think the difference is we got Maxi Morales out there. He's not that fast. We got Julian Fernandez. Julian Fernandez is sneaky slow. Like you think he's fast, and then I think
Julian Fernandez said one of the things he's trying to work on is his speed, or he tried to do that in the offseason. Hey, you need to still work, bud. I don't know why he looks slow out there. It drives me a little crazy, but he looks slow. Granted, Hannes Wolf likes to pass 10 yards over you every time, so that could be it. But he looks a little slow out there. What'd you make of Bakrar's performance? I mean, it's so hard to dictate how he performed because he barely touched the ball.
That's what I like to point out. Like, I'm not defending Moonsef here, but I like to point out that, like, when was he supposed to get the ball? It couldn't get... I mean, the times that I think I saw Moonsef touch the ball, I saw Moonsef behind the midfield to go get the ball. Like, he had to move so far back just to get involved in the play because the midfield wasn't there to get him the ball. So, you know, I think about it, man, if we would have had Alonso Martinez out there, maybe the game would have been different. But Alonso Martinez, in a way, is kind of in the same situation, right? He looks for the midfield to get... He doesn't move back, right? He stays with the back line. He kind of pushes them back, and then he says, get me the ball and I'll make it happen. But who was going to get him the ball?
Yeah.
And so I look at that and I go, I'm not sure if the game would have been that much more different, except Moonsef did have two decent opportunities early in the game, and he didn't do anything with them.
They were great opportunities, but I think he was trying to like make something out of nothing, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so far and few between our chances this game. Like, I can't even think of them, really. Yeah. Like, it was maybe that one time in the 7th minute with Bakrar, and that was it. He only had 27 touches this game. It was bad.
And he only had, and out of the 27 touches, only 2 were in the opposition's box.
Yeah.
So, like, he was a striker who wasn't really playing in that box. And really, I think when you look at kind of our biggest like fault in this game, I guess, was the midfield. Like, we were just getting killed in the midfield by that press, and we couldn't get past that second pass. It would go from our right back or our left back to the midfield, whether it was Parks or Hack or Shore, and then a minute later it was turned over.
Yeah.
And we just couldn't get that third or fourth pass in to move the ball forward.
No, and another issue is on the defensive side, our midfield and our back line, where there was this gap in between. So you would kind of have that press, and once they got past that initial press, your back line was too far back, and it just kept giving Rossi space and all these the other 10, Jackson, and like they just had this space to make opportunities, and that's when you get 22 shots or 24 total shots. That's insane.
Yeah.
So it's like they had all this space, it felt like, and I don't know, it kind of felt like this game was a setback. And I get it, we're playing one of the best teams, but this game sort of felt like a setback for me. Like, I thought we were progressing, you know what I mean? I thought we were slowly itching, getting better every game, and this one felt like, I don't know if we're there yet.
I mean, I don't know if I thought we were there yet. You know what I mean? I think we're such a young team. We have a new coach. We're making new adjustments. We come out of this game feeling like it's a win. And why do we feel like it's a win?
I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that way?
No.
I feel that way.
I feel like I am concerned that we got outcoached this game. And we could talk about being a young team, but a lot of these guys were kind of our starters last year. Like today, just this lineup, it's not that crazy. Like if we look at last year's lineup, you probably could get 9 out of the 11 players they were starting last season. So I thought we were a little outcoached. I get it. The first half, you're kind of feeling out that press. But that second half, what happens? Like, you've already seen how they press. Why wasn't there some type of change? You know what I mean? Or some type of thing that could adjust the game so it could be a little more in our favor. And it wasn't any adjustments that made were worse because we didn't progress a lot more that second half. We were worse that second half. You could attribute that a little bit to Kean Parks being injured, but still.
I mean, I think you could play a big part. You contribute that to Kean Parks being injured. But I also like to point out that you're right. 9 of maybe the 11 players on this team were the same team from last year. And we didn't think this team was good enough to win last year. I think what you're missing here is that...
Well, we put a lot of blame on Nick Cushing last year, though.
Okay, but we also put a lot of blame on where's the signings. And I think we said Nick Cushing didn't do enough with the players that he had. But we still want more players. And I think what we saw from this game was Jansen did the best he could with the talent that we have. It was obvious that the talent of the Columbus Crew were just a notch higher. And I think if you had their starting 11 versus our best starting 11 playing their best games, we lose all. And if we play 10 games, we lose all 10 games. And no matter how you're coach. I think the issue is we just don't have the talent, and we need more signings on this team.
No, but even on the broadcast, they were saying this team has a lot of individual talent. NYCFC they were referring to.
Yes.
But if they can make it something where it's a collective, where as a team, all their individual talents gel and become one unit, then they could be a really good team. A lot of these guys were, well, granted, a lot of these guys weren't playing together. Like Julian barely played last season, but these still are the same guys from last year.
I would counter that and say this team has a lot of potential talent. They are not just proven talented players. Like you said, Julian Fernandez hasn't really played for this team. This is his first time getting time. And you're seeing he has a better work rate. You're seeing some talent. But he doesn't have the time on the pitch to say, yeah, that's a good player or not yet. Like, have you made a judgment on Julian Fernandez if he's the star of the future or not? I'm still TBD on it. Hannes Wolf hasn't had a good game in like 6 months.
Well, no, he played a decent game last game.
Okay, sure. Okay, but what I'm saying is Hannes Wolf. So like I thought about it and I go, oh yeah, we need some substitutions out there. The only one we had available was really Ojeda. And right, and it was like, okay, maybe you bring Ojeda out there. Maybe he's that speedster, and you start lobbing the ball over and try to get that back line and move back a little bit. Try to, play against that press a little bit. But, like, that's it. I mean, and then not only that, but I think to prove my point, we saw it in the game. What were the substitutions? I was excited to see Seymour Reed and Maximo Carrizo, but Reed got signed by NYCFC 2 that Monday, and then got signed to an NYCFC contract that Thursday or Friday.
You gotta move fast, boy.
Fastest promotion of all time. Homie.
That guy skipped 2 grades. They're like, you smart, boy.
and so it's like what I really appreciated about Jansen's substitutions this game is he said, okay, you think this talent's good enough? Fine, let's play him. Let's see if this talent's good enough.
Well, according to Jansen, he said that they earned these spots. So
earned it against who?
Well, he's saying in practice, in preseason, these guys earned these spots.
No, and I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying they earned it against who are they competing against?
Against their own team, themselves.
I understand, but there's no other talent on the team to compete against, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when Ojeda comes in, who else did he have an option to sub Julian Fernandez for?
Nobody. There's really nobody, unfortunately.
Exactly. So then you play Maximo Carrizo.
Yeah.
And same thing with, Perks goes down. Pereira's injured. You put in Short. Do I agree Short is a proven talent? Do I agree Short is pretty good? Yes. Did you have any other option? If Short got hurt, who's coming in?
We're done.
This team, I really like this team. And I truly believe that Jansen is getting a lot out of the talent he has. But I think you just have a lot of unproven talent still, and we need potential signings to just have a higher floor, because when these guys have an off game like this, you don't have anyone who's just always has a solid, like Maxi Morales is pretty much the only player, and maybe Thiago Martins, where you go, these guys are solid always, and even their worst performance is a decent performance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone else just has too full of floor right now, and I think that you get a game like this, and that we came out with the draw makes me extremely ecstatic.
I don't know if the draw is in spite of the way we played, or you get me? Like, I think it's their lack of being able to finish the ball. I don't know. This is why they need Cucho back. That guy would have finished 7 times on it. But you're saying we're getting the most out of the talent. I mean, the stats of this game are ugly. I mean, ugly. Your expected goal was 0.2, lowest this season. Lowest possession we've had all season at 40%. And we had the second highest goals expected against us compared to Miami, which Miami had higher. But it was an ugly performance. And now we're 5 games in, and we haven't necessarily progressed. If we look at those stats, it kind of plateaus. And what's going to happen now? I think now we see next game. And now we're going into a tough Atlanta game. But I don't know.
Were your expectations that we were going to win this game?
My expectations is that we were going to have 1 shot on target. Because I was at home and I did the same thing as them right now. Total shots, 5. Expected, like, if Nick Cushing was our coach last year and we got an expected goal of 0.2 or 0.16, we would have murdered this guy. Murdered him.
Cushing would have been proud of the boys.
He would have been.
He would have said they fought tough. No, but what I'm saying is, but I'm not saying we wouldn't have murdered him. But the thing is, we saw 0.16 games constantly. This is the first time we're seeing this out of this coach. We didn't have our primary striker. And on top of that, it's one of the best teams in the league.
I also want to push back a little. Columbus Crew had like 4 people on international duty, including their starting goalkeeper. Also, their center back was like some 18-year-old kid too. Did you notice? No. Why? Because we couldn't get the ball to anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Columbus couldn't even need a goalkeeper, homie. There were 0 shots on target. But they could have just played an 11 man.
That is an issue. That is a problem. Should we even go into our debation station?
We just debated.
Yeah, that's why I don't even think we should talk about that.
That was our debation station unofficially.
Anything else you take away from this game? Well, congrats to Seymour. Seymour, I think, becomes the youngest kid to ever debut at 17 years and 10 days?
I
2 months?
think it was 11 days or something. I think I might have just made up that number out of my ass.
Damn, was his birthday that recent?
Oh,
Happy birthday, bro.
My favorite had a birthday, got signed, and started all in 1 week.
Yo, our team is so young. It's so crazy, man. 17-year. Well, Carrizo, we've been hyping Carrizo up this whole time.
Oh, what'd you think of Carrizo?
They both had 14 touches altogether. You couldn't. There's nothing to determine there.
I agree, but I think for everyone being so hyped to see Carrizo, that was not a good performance. He had this like terrible one pass, and I was like, but then he had a cool slide. But it was a very small
sample
size, but it wasn't an inspiring sample size either.
I mean, I think nobody was going to come into that game being inspiring. When your first 80, 70 minutes was uninspiring soccer and we really didn't have an answer, there's only one person to highlight, and this person's usually the highlight, Matt Freese. 5 saves. He did his thing. There's nothing else to say.
Do you think USA would have, do you think Matt Freese would have stopped that shot that Panama made?
Yo, he was in bad positioning,
Matt Turner. Terrible.
Probably, I don't know.
Do you think Freese is better than Turner?
We don't have enough time to see. I want to see him. Let's see him in the U.S. men's national team.
I think he's so much better than Turner, bro.
Well, it's because Turner's not getting any burn in Europe right now. So it's like he's probably feeling rusty. He should probably come to the U.S., play for a top team here, and actually get minutes.
Or just play for any team where you're getting minutes, bro. You can't just be sitting on the bench and become a good goalkeeper. Like, you gotta be losing that skill set.
Yeah.
And I felt like that position was terrible. And I was like, damn. Freese would have really, I think Freese would have stopped. And I'm not just saying that as a Freese fanboy. I truly believe, like, it was a bad position. It was a blockable shot. And I just felt like that's Freese all game, all day.
On the start, he's not even being called up. He's not going to be starting anytime soon. That's the problem here.
Yeah,
like we have some time till it actually happens.
But also like Costa Rica's not going anywhere. Alonso, stay home, homie. We need you, homie.
I didn't even see. Did he start? No.
Does anyone care? No, because no one cares for Costa Rica. Stay here, homie. We need you.
Let's get into the next game. By the way, Colombia lost to Brazil. I was tight. Sucks, but we move on. Next, Atlanta United. We meet the former gaffer Ronny Deila. How you feel about that? Do you like him or you hate him?
I appreciate what Ronny did for this team. It was interesting because I saw the game Atlanta United versus Inter Miami, and I felt like it was such a Ronny game, bro. Making subs mad late in the game, slightly questionable.
Somebody's hamstring's about to fall off, like Tavon Gray. He's like, nah, you got to stay out there, bro.
I was like, I love Ronny Deila. He won us the championship, but there were things that we just like bitched about all the time with him, like his substitution, some of his strategy, and you saw that in that Inter Miami game, and I'm like, you know what? It was a good time for a breakup. We had a terrible rebound. but
now we found the one.
Exactly.
She's
hopefully
cute with the bald head. Well, Johnson got a little hair. My bad, bro. So Ronny Deila, but I never got over him like talking about us not playing on a proper field. That one still hurts.
Are you sure? What?
No, that was him, bro. I remember
Sean Johnson.
Probably him too. All these jerk offs leave us and then talk about our stadium situation.
You know what?
When we have our beautiful stadium and Ronnie like, wow, that's nice. I don't want to hear it.
Ronnie did gas us up this year though. When he came back, he was like, I'm excited for them to have that new stadium.
I'm excited to kick their ass this weekend. That's what I gotta say.
I think Atlanta's like my second favorite team behind NYCFC.
You're sick for that.
I think the stadium.
Weren't there. Well, you got to remember when Josef Martinez would destroy us in the playoffs.
That's true. But the stadium, like you go to that game and like it feels like a completely different world, man.
It'll be cool to actually go out there.
Yeah.
For a game.
It's a fun game. It's a fun time. And I just feel like it like it's one of those things where if you wanted to take a player like a non MLS fan to a game to convert them, you take them to an Atlanta game.
But why is their experience feel different than our experience? I guess is a good question. Like, why do you feel like that would entice a fan more than our games?
I think first of all, that it's indoors, everything just sounds way louder.
Which our new stadium will fix that with the acoustics, but
yeah, hopefully, and also just like the stadium itself is just like a really, really like beautiful stadium. Like it's a football stadium, right? It's where the Falcons play.
Yeah.
But when it plays as a soccer stadium, it feels like a soccer stadium. And so I just think it's really cool. And I think you typically Atlanta puts a good product out there, and so then you have a really loyal fan base. Like, I feel like it's not just loud in the supporter section, but it's loud across the stadium when something happens. And I'm not sure if it's the acoustics of Yankee Stadium or if it's the actual fan base, but it gets really loud in the supporter section and maybe those 230 sections. But then everywhere else, it's a little dead. And it's a lot of, like, casuals.
Yeah. I think it has to do with the stadium, though. I think once we get our stadium, and then they're able to hear what our supporter section is saying, because you can't always hear it because it's so widespread. But then if it's like tight, and then everybody's gonna hear it, and then you're gonna have these little kids who start up a chant, and then it'll get real loud, though.
Yeah.
So hopefully that changes. But talking about them having a good product, Almada back out there doing his thing.
Yes.
Lati, or what's his name? It is Lati. He's been beastly for them too. He has the most shots on target per match for Atlanta United at 2.2. He's their leading scorer right now at 4.
He does. He has four goals in 5 games, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's a beast, bro. I actually do like watching him just to see what he does.
And not only that, but like my favorite player, he hasn't been super productive, but he's given the most expected assists, Saba. I think Saba is such a beast, and he's just fun to watch. And he plays the right wing, so I think our backs are gonna have. I mean, with those 3 players on the pitch, it's gonna be a lot, bro. It's gonna be a lot for us to handle.
Yeah.
We're gassing this team up right now a little too much. I forgot we're an NYCFC podcast real quick.
They're behind us on the table. They haven't also won since opening day, so let's not hype them up too much. They're offensively powerful, but they also suck defensively. So they allowed 8 goals, which is like 4th most in the league or 4th most in the East. So yes, they're dangerous offensively, but if we can get to their guys, Alonso Martinez is going to be back. All is good, papa.
Also, doesn't that sound like a Ronny Dale gameplay? I'd rather it went 5-4 than 0-1.
And he's definitely scoring a lot of goals, but also giving a lot of goals. So his game plan might be working. What else? What was I gonna say? So lineup predictions. What do you got?
Alonso Martinez has got to come back.
You know what's interesting? We don't know how serious Kean Park's injury is.
Yes. We have not gotten an update. We're recording this Monday night, so we don't know.
Hopefully it's not bad. I mean, he was able to walk off on his own accord, so that's a good thing.
But what killed me is like you saw him visibly upset. He hit the ground, and he has a history of blood clots.
I don't know if you heard the commentators, but he was wearing 2 different boots.
Yes.
So that makes me think: was it a lingering ankle injury or something that we didn't know about, and then he just. Oh, that makes sense. Last game, he was walking with 1 shoe. Was it him? I'm pretty sure it was him. He was walking with 1 sneaker and 1 chancleta on. I was like, that's interesting. It might have been that. It might have not even been him, so I might be losing it. But I'm pretty sure it was Keaton Parks.
And I think I heard the
You come here for the insights that I might know and that I might not know.
Oh, man. You guys should have been there during... the player interviews after that New York game. The guy goes to Matt Freeze. He goes, "Man, you haven't had a clean sheet since July." He's like, "Not true. I had one in the playoffs."
Yeah, so if I wrote this stat on Instagram, my bad, guys. But it wasn't after the playoff. Before that playoff game, it was July. But the playoff game, bro, clean sheet, but he went into penalties and let some penalties in. So I don't know. I guess it still counts. So I asked him a couple questions and he shut me down. It was hilarious. He didn't say do it in a bad way. It was just funny because he was like, no. What was the other question?
You were like, I heard you carpool with O'Toole, and he goes, only on away games.
Oh yeah. And he shut me down, and then he was like, I have weird
home rituals.
Yeah,
So I want to be
rituals.
by myself. And you go, what are those rituals? And he goes, I don't want to talk about it. Just shut you down 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I got shut down. But he was a good sport about it. But he shut me down. But what are those rituals, bro? They might be weird. I'm going to get it out of him.
I'm sure he'll tell you.
Bro, he hasn't washed his socks in 7 years.
Whatever he's doing, keep doing it because my man is a beast.
Seriously, bring those socks to the U.S. men's national game when you go when you finally get called up again. What's our betting lines with this game?
All right. So right now, Atlanta's favored at -115, which is crazy. Plus 260 for the draw. Plus 280 for NYCFC to win. And -154 for the over 2.5.
By the way, you're all big.
Guys, I'm up big.
I know
The
we
thing is,
don't-
some of the bets are unofficial and not here, but I'm betting crazy parlays that I don't want you guys to put your money on.
Don't put your hard-earned money on
But-
his crazy parlays, even though he's winning every time.
I'm winning, bro. I'm hitting Alonso Martinez goals. My new favorite bet is over 7.5 total corners, and I'm hitting that consistently. So consistently, FanDuel doesn't have the corners up this week. I think I'm making too much. They go, this guy keeps making $10 off of us.
This $10 is too much.
They got no corners bet this because I was gonna tell the fans to bet the corners this week, but no corner bet on FanDuel anyways.
By the way, these things, I was like, yo, I'm going to place a bet, place a little cha-ching before this Columbus Crew game. Alonso Martinez had a better chance of scoring than Musa Bakrar this game.
bro, I would have still taken those Alonso Martinez odds.
The stats, yo, these guys don't know ball.
They don't know ball. They don't.
Let's beat the system. Let's all become rich. Then we all don't have to make a podcast.
I feel like if there was a way to bet that Moonsef wouldn't score a goal every game, bro, we'd be bajillionaires.
Why are you so disrespectful? Why don't you go become an Atlanta United fan? You disgust me, bro.
Bro, I feel like everyone feels this way about Moonsef. I'm sorry, Moonsef. What's funny was when we were just talking about the Onside documentary. The last game, or the game that they talked about, was the Citi Field game,
yeah,
right?
where
we
he
played
scores
against
a
the
goal.
Red Bulls, and like I'm watching that, I go, oh man, they're gonna show the Moonsef score, which is kind of cool. Because,
Yeah, but they didn't even
like,
show the storyline of that. That was such a good storyline that drove me crazy. I'm like, yo, Monsef didn't score. This is the moment. It's huge. They like mentioned it, like the commentator said it's been a while or something.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even like a big deal, and that was a perfect storyline for them.
It's exactly what I was thinking. But then the next thought came. Did Moonsef score after that? Did he ever have a goal again that season?
Don't disrespect my boy.
I don't know because then I think Alonso Martinez got the start a few games later, and then he became the starter from then on. So I was like thinking about that. I was like, yo, I don't know if Moonsef ever scored again after this game.
It doesn't matter, bro. It was an epic goal of proportions. I don't know. I'm not gonna check because it's gonna take too long. I'm already here, but stop looking at me. Go talk.
Okay, so guys, so once again, the bets are in.
He scored 4 goals. I don't know when those 4 goals happened though.
Okay.
And I'm too lazy to check. So
Okay. So what was the last thing I wanted to say here on this? Oh yeah, if I was to take the bet, as Javi mentioned, Atlanta's given up 8 goals in the past 4 or 5 games.
Charlie Horse.
Charlie Horse. They're a disaster. All right,
You guys, I've been riding my bike. My bad for the Charlie Horse. That shit got me. All right.
And so what I'm saying is over 2.5, I think, is a lock. And -154, they have an offensive powerhouse. They've given up 8 goals. Alonso Martinez comes back. Moonsef never sees the pitch again. That gives us another 3 goals in its situation. I think it's a lock. So if I was you, I'd take the -154. Also, if they do have the over in a 7.5 corners, once again with this, if that bet comes on, I don't know what the odds are on that, but I feel like it's a lock. Honestly, if I'm gonna bet a parlay and Alonso Martinez is back, depending on the situation, I think you take Alonso Martinez to score or assist, the over 2.5, and over 7.5 corners. That's a lock.
Solid.
It's a lock.
I like
$20
it.
you're gonna make 120, 150, something like that. I bet.
Solid. I'm surprised you didn't take Atlanta United to win. You Atlanta fan.
Chill out.
What's your final score prediction after that Columbus Crew? How you feeling? Let me see how you're feeling after that.
You know what? I think I'm hoping Parks comes back. We get a little bit more control of the midfield. And if Parks doesn't come back, I don't think, I think we still have Hack in that midfield. I still think we have Shore in that midfield. I still think we're going to be able to connect a little bit more with the attacking third. We have Maxi out there. So I'm going to say maybe a 2-2 draw.
I like it. I'm going with the boys to win. 2-1. We get the W. We come back from Atlanta United. We haven't won since... I have the stat here. We haven't beat Atlanta since October 9th, 2022.
Wow.
Hebed scored. And Pereira, the Brazilian kings back in the day. Now we lost all our Brazilians, except Thiago Martins. Okay. I think that's it. Is that a wrap? Is there anything else we want to talk about? I think I'm done. I'm ready to go to bed.
I felt like I wanted to... Oh, just that Master Freeze got his clean sheet, bro.
Oh, finally got his clean sheet.
Yeah,
even though he had one in the playoffs, and he'll tell me that. Good to see Matt Freeze back in the clean sheet.
With 25 shots, that's pretty impressive.
Seriously, he chose the one game where he didn't need to have a clean sheet. It's like, nah, we understand, bro. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace.